All right, welcome everyone to a new 3D print build. As you can see, I have finished printing my Eames chair. I'm a lover of modern, mid-century modern type of aesthetic. So, of course, one thing that I've wanted for a long time was an Eames chair. However, the Eames chair is just a bit too big, number one, too expensive, number two. So even if I did come upon it or some sort of reproduction of it, there wouldn't be any space in my home to feature it, but I still admire it. So this is a nice compromise for me. I printed this out using my Bambu Lab A1. The print, all in all, I think took a combined 8 hours. I printed it came in several pieces, so what I did was I moved all of the padding, the black padding, I put that all on one plate, and then I printed these pieces out on the bottom with wood PLA. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the build. One thing I would have changed, if you take a look towards the bottom of the, to the padding itself, you'll see these topological layers. In this case, I don't mind it. It looks interesting as a pattern. However, if you wanted to look more, if you want to remove the lines or the layers, what I would suggest is, of course, printing at an angle and then using tree supports to support the angle. The reason why is because of the axis that you're printing on. If you print it at an angle, the lines will be horizontal the lines will be vertical instead of horizontal. So you won't have this line up in this way. It will instead be like little lines vertically. So it may look a little sharper. So you may end up having a leather that looks a little better. Some examples of that might be up here. As you can see, it might look a little better up here versus down here on these two bottom ones. So I would definitely move that up. Another thing you may want to consider if you do decide to print this build are the legs. So for the legs, they're a little bit feeble for PLA. Something you can do is you can, of course, thicken the bottom base, which is what I would recommend, making probably the walls thicker. Or just to make it simple, you can obviously print in a different filament type like ATPU, which I would recommend for at least the base. The base is glued on, which is pretty simple to do. There was an inlay there, so everything was fairly seamless. One of my favorite prints so far. It has been satisfying. If you do decide to not print these at an angle, the leather pads or the pillows, etc., you can attempt sanding this down. Of course, you want to do that before you join the pieces together. You can attempt sanding it down and then giving it a nice finish, or some people even try melting it to give it that clean finish aesthetic. But I like this as it is, so I'm just going to keep it as is for now. But yeah, this is one of my dream furniture items, and it's very rewarding and satisfying to see this printed and come to life. I think if you had a flea market booth and you were trying to sell this, you could easily sell it for $20 to $30. I know that Eames chairs can run anywhere from a few $1,000s or up. Some reproductions go for a few $100s. So this right here, as just like a mini representation of that, could easily go for $20 to $30. If you wanted to make this more functional, for instance, I thought about how I could do that. I would probably try to make this into a phone stand. of some kind, or some sort of holder for items like glasses, for instance, you know, something like that, if you want to put your glasses there. So be creative. You can find some ways to make this more useful for you in your everyday life. Could hold your remote even, you know, like so, you know, could hold your remote, but whatever would make you happy. In my case, the base is really what determines what it can do. I tried to use it for my phone stand. It's a little too narrow. It's almost exactly the same width as an iPhone. So you would have to, of course, increase the width just a tad, scale it up just a tad. But yeah, some thoughts that came to mind is, what if I actually scale this up all the way to try to make a full-size reproduction? It would take quite a bit of filament, and I would definitely need something sturdier than the TPU on the bottom. I'd probably replace that with a real metal base. But it would be interesting. I'm curious if anyone would ever try that. The other thing to consider is the toughness of the PLA itself. So if you, for some reason, want to print out a full-scale model of this, I definitely replace the bottom base with steel. And for the top base, for the wood PLA, I try to reinforce that, make it as thick as possible. And then from there, I'd really fill it in with some sort of cotton material, and then try to find some leathers to make your own. But yeah, it's a very interesting project, very satisfying for me. I'll try to get as many angles as I can. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So I just wanted to take this time to share one of my favorite prints that I've done so far with this audience. And I want to say, anyone who has been watching my videos, I want to say thank you. I know that starting a YouTube channel comes with a lot of learning curves, so I want to say thank you for bearing through that. And my goal is just to make consistent content. I'm not here to, of course, everyone, you know, would enjoy the fantasy of like getting really famous on YouTube or becoming really popular. But I really care about 3D prints and just using my 3D printer as much as I can in a way that benefits my life and my family. So I'm trying to find fun prints for me to do, things that improve what I do, like gardening, etc. So I will share those with you as I make more. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear you engage in the comments section. I want to hear what you're using 3D prints for. Are you printing out anything for mid-century modern? Yeah. All right, well, thanks for watching the video and enjoy. Come back for more.